Hey, it's Andrea Gribble from hashtag Social School for EDU. Hopefully this connection is a little better. Coming at you live on Friday, May 11th. I just kind of popping in unexpectedly because today is School Communicators Day. I had a friend, Tracy Gents, out of North Dakota, that declared that, hey, today is going to be School PR Day, right? School Communicator Day. And I'm really excited. And I have been brainstorming this idea for quite a while. And so today I am going to cover 6 indicators of being a top school PR, school communicator, around the country. And if you are joining in today, hi Cindy and Amber and Monique, wherever you're joining in from, I would love for you to chat your role and what school you're with and maybe what state you're in, because we're kind of all over. And so I just love that we're tuning in. Before I get to the top 6 things, I would just like to give a huge shout out to all of you that are in school PR. 4 years ago, when I started Social School for EDU, I didn't even really know that school communications, like this role, even existed. And I have learned so much about what you do, so much about your heart of what you give to our schools. And you work behind the scenes tirelessly. I was just speaking to a person this morning about opportunities in school PR, and that they're becoming more and more needed because of school communications, and it's a huge thing. But that it's not an easy job. And I have so much admiration. I've met some of the greatest people. Hey, Joelle, I've met some of the greatest people since starting this business, and I have gotten to learn from each and every one of you. So I am so blessed to be able to work with you, learn from you, and this week has been Teacher Appreciation Week, and we owe so much to our educators, and those are the people that we get to celebrate every day. But you do deserve a day. So I'm so glad Tracy declared May 11th as School Communicators Day. We're definitely going to do this. And Jerry from Milton is watching. Yes, thanks for everybody. And I love serving you guys. I just learn from you, and then I love to share it. And that's my thing. So top 6 indicators of school PR people. So I want to break this down. Number 1, you remember that your job is about the kids. It is all about the kids. It's always about the kids. And those of you that know that are really good in your role. How is this affecting our kids? What does this mean? How does it help? Couple examples that I wanted to throw out there is Justin Albert out of Klein ISD in Texas. Justin, he always keeps kids at the forefront, but if you are dealing with mental health issues at your school, which I don't really know any school that is not dealing with mental health concerns, he has launched a campaign to talk about mental health. And it's one that I'm dealing with the school that I serve, that I'm going to be looking at, okay, what is he sharing? How is he talking about it? And what can we then apply to our school situation? And so remembering that it's all about the kids. Hi, Megan and Cheryl. Thank you guys for joining us. When they remember that it's about the kids, that's key. And how is it impacting them? And what are we doing to serve them better? And another person that I just want to give a huge shout out to, so Justin is a school communicator. Joe Sanfilippo is just communicating with on Twitter just earlier today. Joe is a superintendent of a small district. He basically kind of is the school PR, and he is definitely all about the kids, and how is this impacting them, and how we use school communications, and definitely how social media plays a big role in celebrating the awesome things that our kids are doing. So when you can keep kids and how we serve kids as the #1 priority of your job, hi Mandy, from New York, that's awesome. We've got people from all over Idaho. and in Wisconsin. When you can keep things, kids as a forefront, that's number one. Okay, number two. Number two is if you as a school communicator are able to build a team of storytellers, you are going to rock, because you as a school communicator, many of you are in a one school PR shop, or it's just part of your role, and you cannot tell every single story that is going on in your district. So being able to build just a tribe of storytellers within your school is key. One of the people that I think does that just brilliantly is Greg Turchetta out of Florida. Right, he has, what do you have, Greg? 150 schools, I think, big districts. Remember, I'm from a small little district of 300 kids, K-12. So I grew up in this small little school district. Some of you are with really big school districts. So how can you possibly tell all the stories? You enlist your teachers to tell your story. You trust them. You give them the tools. You develop that hashtag. It's going to make your job so much easier. And so I really want to encourage you that if you want to be a great school PR person, you look at developing that team of storytellers around you, because it's going to make your job a lot easier. So number one was serve your kids. Number two, build a team. Number three, as a school communicator, you have to have a seat at the table. If you don't have a seat at the table when things, with all the decisions that are being made, certainly you're not the administrator, but you should be the administrator's right-hand person. That is key. And I think this week we learned from Melissa McConnell out of Missouri, just, a lot of tips and strategies on how to do that and make sure that you do have a seat at the table. And so if you don't, we're coming up to the end of the school year. Over this summer, you're going to probably relook at some of the initiatives and strategies that you're using for school communications. I want you to really evaluate, do I have a seat at the table? Because many times we have to act reactively with school communications. But if we can get in on the front end and help be proactive, I know Jerry's on here too, and I'm going to mention a few others here, that you are at that table to begin with, it helps immeasurably of you being great in your position and being able to serve your school to the best of your ability. Leslie Brewington too, out of Tuscaloosa, she does a great job of making sure that she's got her seat at the table and really driving some things and what we should be involved in, what we shouldn't be involved in, because there's so much going on. And so that's awesome. And if you have, Leslie, you just joined, and I'm just like, your ears are ringing because I'm talking about you. So top 6 reasons. First one was serve the kids. Second, build a team of storytellers. Third, get a seat at the table. 4, this is all about your background as a school PR person. Again, 4 years ago, I didn't even know school PR really existed. And I don't necessarily have these 2 backgrounds, but I have a team that's around me that does. Some of the most effective school PR people have 2 types of backgrounds that I've seen. And if you don't fall in this category, I'm sorry, you can still be awesome. But 2 of them that are really effective are if you have a journalism background or if you were a teacher yourself. So 2 of my favorite Wisconsin people that have these backgrounds are Joelle Doy out of Mineral Point, who was an incredible journalist, and Brian Nickel out of Howard Swamico, who was a math teacher. And I love them both because of what they bring to this position. So when you're a journalist, like you were, delivering the news, you know the impact of a story, and the pictures and the images that go around, and you have that background of kind of always on, especially if you were like in a newsroom or something like that. You know that you have a lot to give, and it's all about the story. So Joelle has a lot of that in spades. Brian was a teacher. He has a yearning for making a difference. And for each of you that are in school PR, I know that some teachers kind of crave that in the classroom because you can see how much you're making a difference. But when you work in school communications, you have that impact times like 1,000, because all of a sudden the work you're doing not only impacts, you know, the kids like in that specific classroom, they impact your entire district. And so I think that's so key. And you know what your teachers are going through, so you know how to celebrate those stories. The Benjamin, yes, they were at the Wisconsin State Education Convention. Both Joelle and Brian actually presented together. And so that's awesome. They actually presented last year, I think, at NSPRA together as well. NSPRA is the National School of Public Relations Association. If you're not hooked up with NSPRA, you should be. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more. So background is key. Okay, so that was number 4. And I'm going through 6 of them. So number 5, a great school communicator, school PR person, knows their community. They're ingrained in their community, they know what their community needs, and they don't bite off more than they can chew. And the person that I think epitomizes this just to a T is my friend Kristen Majette, who literally wrote the book on school communications, Embracing Social Media. Her 2nd edition of her book, which I'll put a link down below, you need to purchase it because she's so common sense strategy when it comes to school communications. And a lot of that is on social media, which is my big deal, right, of social media for schools. But Kristen uses Facebook only for really celebrating her school on social media. She's not using Twitter, she's not using Instagram, she's not using these other things. And I think that's really important to realize that you don't have to be everywhere to be effective. You need to know your community and know what they need, know where you're getting the most bang for your buck. Sometimes you can spread yourself too thin, and it's okay not to be everywhere. And so, and Kristen, I think, is originally from that community, so she really knows that district. We just had a free webinar, and it's actually up on my website now with Melissa earlier this week, and she talked about those community relations within your community of how important they are. Andy, I'm really glad that you already ordered the book. And anyways, so that's awesome. So yes, Kristen just is definitely knows her community. And then the final indicator that I believe makes a top school PR, and believe me, I just know this because I've worked with so many of you and I see it. So number 1 was you remember your role is to serve the kids. Number 2, you create a team of storytellers. Number 3, you get a seat at the table. Number 4, your background. You really utilize that background. And I love journalism backgrounds and teacher backgrounds. You're not going to be able to change that, but those are if you don't have those, maybe hone in on what those skills might look like and talk to those people. Number 5, really knows their community. And number 6 is that you surround yourself with top #SchoolPR people around really the globe. But the people that are the most connected, connected this way, connected virtually, connected in person, are going to be the most effective, because in a lot of cases, we're on this little island almost, right? Within our school, we're the only ones that really do school PR for our school. Some of you are lucky enough to have a little department, but still it's not very big. So the way that you're going to be really effective is if you connect with other people. Some of the examples, Peg Mannion out of Illinois. Peg does an awesome job of connecting via Twitter. She connects, she's actually on a representative for her area for NSPRA. So again, I mentioned that, National School of Public Relations Association. So she's surrounding herself there. She's coming to our summer camp. Our summer camp is Social Media Summer Camp is coming up in June. You know, investing in herself of kind of getting the best training, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. Another person that does great with this is the person who started School Communicator, International School Communications Day-to-Day, Tracy Jentz, out of North Dakota. North Dakota doesn't even have like a school PR association. She comes to the Minnesota group and really kind of entails herself and surrounds herself with top school PR people from Minnesota. And she uses Twitter to connect. So thank you, Tracy. Thanks for doing that. And thanks for, not only surrounding yourself, but then becoming a leader within all of our school PR people. So those were really my top 6 indicators. Maybe you have another thing that you think really makes a great school communicator. I would love to see that in the comments. And if you have other questions, certainly let me know. So those were kind of my top 6 things. And again, thank you guys so much for what you do. I do want to do a little shameless plug. And it's not shameless because I truly believe that you guys deserve to get supported with the best of the best training. And one of those ways that's so cost effective because it comes to your desk and it's a 2-day event where you can really think about social media for your school is our summer camp event. We've got actually 6 different breakouts sessions happening on June 26th and 27th. Guys, it's only $197 to attend. So cheap. You can sign up with a credit card or you can email me to actually sign up with a check if your school prefers that. But you not only get all these speakers live that are speaking on 6 different topics, you get a workbook and you get all of the presentation slides, you get recordings to every presentation, and you can share them with anybody at your school district. If you have a couple people that want to attend live, I'll let you have a couple people for that $197 price, okay? We're gonna be talking about Greg Turchetta, who I was talking about, is gonna be talking about creating socially savvy teachers. Jake Sturgis is gonna be talking about video storytelling, 10 tips for social media. Heidi Feller, who's on our team, is gonna be talking about her journey of really going from 0 to knocking it out of the park at her school district in Reedsburg. Brian Woodland from Canada, he's going to be talking about inclusion with social media. Justin Albert is going to be talking about working smart, not hard. And you can bet that he's also going to be talking a little bit about that mental health piece. And I am going to be talking about what is working in 2018 using insights to navigate ever-changing platforms. So please consider signing up for this. 197 bucks, best money you'll ever spend. Plus, like I say, if you can get 2 ideas out of each session, that's like 12 new ideas for your district. And it's time for you to just focus on the social media for your school. So I'm awesome. I'm just kind of looking through this. If you've got questions or again, other ideas that you've got, we would love to address those, or if you've got questions on stuff that I came up with. The other thing that I just want to encourage you is NSPRA is the National School of Public Relations Association, and they have an annual event. It's happening in July in California. We're going to Anaheim, and I'm really blessed because Melissa McConnell, who just did the free webinar, her and I are teaming up to do a breakout session there. But mostly I go there to get my cup filled up, to just really learn from all the top school PR people across the country, rub elbows, talk about struggles, strategies, and really get to know them that can really help. Yes, and Mandy says if you can go to NSPRA, go. Of course, it's a little more investment, but professional development in your role is critical, because the professional development that you guys invest in as a school communicator is magnified, like I said, 100-fold or 1,000-fold because of all the lives that you impact. And so we got to take care of you. We got to get you the best skills, and we want to be able to help you. And so hopefully some of these top 6 indicators really helped, you to maybe reflect on, well, how am I in this, in my role as school communicator? What do I need to work on? And especially we're wrapping up the year. I know it's crazy right now. It's really crazy. Graduation and concerts and, and teacher appreciation week and getting ready for summer school, all this activity. But take time to reflect and look at your goals, objectives as you go into the next school year. And, you know, I believe that this opportunity for summer camp, because it's so affordable, is a great place to really get grounded in that and develop. So all six of these people, yes, yeah, you can see, connect with all of them on Twitter, definitely. So if you don't have any questions, I'm going to sign off and let you get back to your busy day. I appreciate each and every one of you. Please stay in to tune in to Social School for EDU. We are all about helping you tell your story. And we have this awesome mug. It's really, social media is about celebrating your school one story at a time. It's so critical that we continue to be consistent and get those stories out, because as George Couros says, we need to make the positive so loud that the negative is almost impossible to hear. So with that, I'm signing off. Thank you. Thank you so much for what you do for your schools. And tune into the links below, and I'll make sure to get some links to what I talked about today. Have an awesome one. Bye-bye.